Stephanie Jacobs. A little over 11 years ago, my first cousin Stephen was sentenced to prison. Some months earlier, Stephen had been driving under the influence of alcohol and had fallen asleep at the wheel, which resulted in a head-on collision that took the lives of a grandmother and her 3 young grandchildren. This tragic night, along with so many more reasons, are the consequences of drinking alcohol and why we should all think twice before taking a drink. Alcoholism runs in my family, as well as in many others. One cannot argue with the fact that in most cases, alcohol hurts people more than it helps them. I'm going to try and persuade you why alcohol should be illegal by providing you with more than enough reasons as to why. First of all, I feel that alcohol should be illegal due to the many negative consequences of its users, as well as how it negatively affects others and the economy. The misuse of alcohol brings about many negative outcomes. Health issues associated with the use of alcohol cause temporary and permanent damage, even death in some cases. For some people, the use of alcohol can destroy relationships and the daily routine of life in general. Family members of alcoholics are affected in many ways. How Al-Anon works for families and friends of alcoholics, published by Al-Anon Family Groups, describes the many stories of people who have been affected by alcoholism, their emotions ranging from depression and anger to grief and despair. How Al-Anon works also states that alcoholism is a family disease being defined as an illness or sickness. Case in point, the misuse of alcohol creates the disease known as alcoholism, and everyone involved with the alcoholic deals with the disease in some way. The economy also bears many negative outcomes due to the misuse of alcohol. The Centers for Disease and Control Prevention reports in an online study that the consumption of alcohol cost the United States over $220 billion in the year 2006. The CDC also reports these costs contributed to lost productivity in the workplace, healthcare expenses, and criminal justice expenses. As you can see from these specific instances, alcohol has many negative impacts on people, even for those who don't drink alcohol. The National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence reports on their website that over 5 million people who committed a crime were under the influence of alcohol, and as of today, 40% of all violent crimes are involved with alcohol use. Millions of violent crimes occur each year. The NCADD tells us that 3 million of those violent crimes include victims that state their attacker was drinking. The NCADD also says that federal research shows that 40% of convicted murderers behind bars committed their crimes under the influence of alcohol and alcohol alone. There's a statistic sheet from the NCADD that correlates between alcohol and crime. The statistic sheet shows 744,000 incidents happen among acquaintances. The sheet also states that 70% of these violent incidents occur between families at their home. The National Partnership on Alcohol Misuse and Crime online says that over 1 million people are arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol. Many accidents on the road are due to alcohol use, as proven with my earlier story regarding my cousin. The NPAMC also explains that taxpayers in America shell out over $100 billion due to accidents on the road that involve alcohol. Therefore, the amount of violent crimes and crimes in general that occur with people under the influence of alcohol should make people realize why we need to get rid of it in the first place. And the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism Online tells us that in 2013, almost 17 million adults and 600,000 children were dependent on alcohol in the United States. An alcohol use disorder is diagnosed when a person's drinking causes harm or distress. The NIH reported that only 1.4 million adults and 70,000 children with an AED received treatment that year. The fact that not even 2 million people receive treatment for alcoholism means that there are 16 million other people in the U.S. that struggle with this disease daily. It's quite obvious if you've ever had a drink before or been around a person drinking that alcohol affects the brain, because as little as one drink can affect your mood and behavior. But what about your health? Many people who are addicted to alcohol will unfortunately develop health issues because alcohol is like poison. It is simply toxic to our bodies if we ingest too much of it. The National Institute on Alcohol and Alcoholism explains that drinking alcohol contributes to over 200 diseases. Drinking weakens the immune system, and consuming a good bit over a long period of time can damage the heart and liver and also increases the risk of certain cancers. The NIH also reports that over 3 million deaths occurred globally in 2012 due to alcohol-related causes. The CDC states that each year, over 2 million years of potential life are lost due to excessive alcohol use, and an estimated 90,000 deaths occur in the United States. The NIH shows that excessive alcohol use is the third leading preventable cause of death in the United States. The third. As I near the end of this speech, I would like you to keep in mind all the negative effects that are contributed from drinking alcohol. The health risks associated with alcohol are numerous. Excessive alcohol use takes the lives of millions of people each year. Alcohol doesn't have to be the third leading preventable cause of death in the United States, and certainly wouldn't be if it were illegal. Please tell your loved ones to be careful where alcohol is involved. In closing, remember that no one is immune to becoming an alcoholic, not even you.